I'm making a skirt from my dad's old t-shirts. Let me show you what I'm gonna make. So I'm quite the procrastinator. These have been in my stash to work on for 11 years. My dad passed away in 2013, and when we cleaned out his house, it was probably the next year, I got a lot of his t-shirts because he used to wear the funniest t-shirts. And a lot of them I actually bought right here. I love the old guys rule t-shirts. I would buy those whenever I would see him. He was quite the character. And then like, I'm magnificent, I'm approaching, it was kind of funny ages. He loved the 49ers. So too bad they didn't win the Super Bowl. They're so close. Anyway, RV parks in Arizona. He loved Snoopy and I love Snoopy. So I have this one. I haven't been able to cut this t-shirt up yet. So I think I'm gonna have to. I'll have to put that front and center somewhere. Peanuts. All kinds of funny t-shirts. There's one in here. Oh, I love this one. This one he wore a lot. Sarcasm, just one of the many services I provide. So I cut these all up. First I had a stack of t-shirts, and then I think I gotta reduce things because I gotta get this started. And I was gonna make a quilt, and then I was gonna make a pillow. And then I saw the bears, those cute little memory bears, but those, I got too many t-shirts for that. And I just thought at least a pillow, and then make my sister one. But you know, I make skirts all the time. Why not make this into a skirt? Oh. I've done a lot of patchwork skirts. I use my Rosie pattern. That's the square circle skirt. I have it on that dress form there. And what it is just a square with the hole in it. It's like a square circle skirt. And I just put all the patches along it, not even hem it. Find a good little yoke. I'm probably gonna do a denim yoke. We'll see. I had some of his jeans, but I used them in a patchwork skirt, a denim patchwork skirt. I had 3 of my pairs of jeans and then some of his, and I put that into a patchwork, really fun skirt. I love wearing it. It got really heavy too, and I have his pockets on it. It's just fun, just like little parts of it. I'll put a card up here so that you can find that skirt, and I'll put it at the end of this video too so you can find it. This is what the pattern looks like right there. That's my size. That looks kind of big. So I'll cut all these squares, attach them together in this shape, and let the hem, maybe not even hem it, just because sometimes those knits, they roll and stuff, and it might be cool with that. Maybe put an underlayer on it. I'm just gonna let it evolve and see how it all turns out, and then get the colors around it. And if I run out of the funny sayings, I'll use the solid parts of it, which I need to do anyway. So you put solids around it to break them up, and just kind of make it unique, of course. And with his t-shirts, and his birthday's coming up, so I want to wear it on his birthday. His birthday was actually St. Patrick's Day, so there's even a St. Patrick's Day one in here. Right here, the St. Patrick's Get Lucky one. It's got some stains on it. I'll be cutting that off right there. And yeah, this is gonna be fun. I'm glad I'm finally getting to it. It's only 11 years later, but you know, it's better now than not, right? Let's see how this works out. All right, gonna start with the 49ers since it's the biggest piece, and then I'm just gonna square these out. I think I'll use the chalk on some of them. See if I can get a good straight line. And I gotta make some room if I have it, so that the stitch isn't too close by. Like that. And then trim these. I could probably pink some of them too. I wonder how that would look. Because some of the knits frays anyway, right? Yeah, I think I'll just cut some straight lines. Get some squares first, really nice straight squares, and then start patching. All right, now I gotta tackle my peanut shirt. And all I got is this little guy here. And what I'll do, this is a newer shirt, so that's nice, but I'm gonna use a lot of this black because these are all I have, and that is not enough for a skirt. But that's okay. I gotta use a lot of solids, and then I might have to fill it in with some other solids I have. I think I'm gonna just do a big square right here, and then I'm definitely gonna use this tag somewhere. So this tag has got to come out this way. It's really buried in there. Try not to damage it. There go, Peanuts by Schultz. It's a nice label. That's going to look really cute somewhere. I'll put it on the black. So I got the Old Guys Roll label, the Peanuts label, and another Old Guys Rule Vintage. So I got those. Those will be really cute. I'll put those in the seam allowances somewhere. That's going to be really fun. Don't need the extra large size one. So to tackle this one, see there's no, and then there's a Peanuts on the sleeve. I'll use that sleeve part here also. Get all that in there. So I got to cut that off. I hate cutting this. Like I could wear this, but this would look really good on the skirt, and I need this black too. So there you go. I got my dog's hair all over the place. How did it get here? My dog's only been around 1.5 years, and he's been around 13 years. Unless my dad had a dog. He did. He had a tan one. He had all different color dogs. All right, so now I'm gonna find a square. All right, this is what I have. I hope I have enough. All good different colors. I have one blue one in there, a couple whites, 49ers. Hopefully that's enough to cover. Then I've got my solid chunks right here. Now to lay these out on the pattern. Back in today to work on the skirt. This is where I get to use lots of cardboard. I could put them underneath the pieces and pin them and work at a quarter at a time and start sewing these down. If this were a cotton woven fabric, this would all be a little easier, but I'm gonna have to, I don't know, knits are so hard to work with. So some stretch in all different directions. And I don't want to use a stretch stitch on here because it's really not going to get stretched out, or kind of don't need it to stretch. So that's a good thing. But I found this denim I was going to do for the yoke. It's an interesting fabric. I found this in Phoenix and has a nice stretch to it. So I think it'll complement it really well. And I was looking at this selvage on here, and I was like, this would be a great piece to go in between the yoke and the skirt. Then I put it on the table and I was like, this would actually be a great border for the whole square around. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, and I only have enough for the border, so then I don't have enough for the yoke. So I'm gonna have to come up with something in between there, but I don't have to decide right away. One thing I was thinking of doing was trimming off a piece here, getting it really frayed well, but not with the white. I'll have to see how I can find a piece on there that frays, like right on this end here, and then use that, and it'll probably curl up a little bit. This is kind of a weird, this is a weird fabric. I made pants out of it. They're pretty comfortable, but I wasn't sure, were they knit or were they woven? I don't know. But this would actually be a really good, even if it curled up like that, I kind of like it. So I might use that in between the yoke and the skirt piece, and then have the selvage on the border of the whole skirt. I think that'll pull it really well together. So, wow. I love when things like that happen. I just have to look at things. I trust that every one of my projects just evolves into that. So I just let it happen. You know, I know the right thing's gonna show up. So I'm excited. This is gonna look so cool. I'm gonna start putting this all together and just gonna take this a little at a time. All right, here's the pattern right there. Let's look at this and go, it's a lot, but I think I definitely have enough. Yes. Now, when I usually do this patchwork, I cut a piece of lining out on this and then sew all the swatches to the lining, which is It's not a bad idea, it just makes it a little thicker. So in this case, I might have to, I have to put the cardboard under here and sew these together. I'm not quite sure. I have to just play around with this and see how these all fit in here. And then this is like my side, this is my center front, and then I gotta decide, the center front, I might put this one here on the right side. Put my favorite ones kind of in the front, although my favorite one is this sarcasm one. I might put that on the side, right here. I gotta lay all these out, figure this out. This is how the whole piece is looking. I'm just gonna start pinning here. This is how that border looks right there. I'm gonna put it on the end of the squares. So now just to pin all these pieces down. This is how this looks. I love it. Oh my gosh. So I always believe in starting with the easiest first, and that's going to be this sweatshirt piece. So I'm having this on the edge here, although it's not exactly right on the square. I think I'll get that there. And I gotta find my cardboard, a piece here. Get my pins together. And I'm just gonna work on, I'm gonna take all this off of here. Work on this quarter first. And I have to decide what pieces go up and, like, does this go under, does this go up? And this is a thinner one and it really curls, so it's definitely probably gonna go up. So I'll start on that. And then what thread to use. Do I change the thread often, or do I keep one thread? I like this because this one, I don't know. It's another decision. I'm gonna put this under here. The last patchwork skirt I did was much easier because I did a lining and I was able to just pin it right to the lining, but it really added some weight to it. And it also added noise. Depends on the lining, but definitely, I mean, I could do like a batiste cotton or something would actually be good with this. Might want to think about that. I don't know. So actually, I think the end of my cardboard is there, so this just makes it a little harder. And then I'll be sewing it, and then I'll probably have to trim some of this down so I don't have so much flapping around on that. That's where the cotton, like a nice cotton like this, might actually be a good idea. I have to think about that. Then I have the whole lining. See, then the whole lining looks like this, and there's stitches all over it. Then you can see through it because how it shows, but this one you would actually just see the different fabrics. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna stick with the fabrics. Oh gosh, okay. Okay, so let's see, now I gotta get this under here some more. Okay, pin. Can't believe Dolce & Gabbana did a whole collection of patchwork years ago. How did they do that? This stuff takes so long. It's just so fun when you see it coming out, but it's like, it's very tedious. Okay, so this is my first grouping to sew. So that's a quarter of this. So I just think a quarter and a quarter. If I did a quarter a day, that'd be 4 days on that. But I think I can do at least half of them a day, and probably more than that, but okay. When it gets in that stitch witchery, really try some of that. All right, I have my stitch witchery in this little tomato, and it comes out, it's in rolls like this, and I'm just gonna tear off a little piece, and then I'm gonna place them in between the pins here, like that. I'll just go around and iron it. I think that will help this to really stay down. As long as it doesn't gum up my needle, but I'm gonna have to put a fresh size 11 knit needle, the ball points in here too. That under there, just like that. All right, now I'm just gonna put a press cloth over it. Hit steam on it. Keeps those from melting. Ooh, my iron needs to go back. Cordless, they beep when they want the iron back. This is going to make it so much easier to sew. That really helps. That's how that looks. How this looks right here. Go through, do this one here. Right here. Border done. This looks so great. And go right here. That was kind of easy. I think the little gluey part really worked. And I decided to do this little decorative stitch, and it's kind of like a cover stitch. I was gonna get this sample and do all kinds of different samples, but I just did this one and I thought perfect, because it holds this down a little bit easier, holds those patches in a little bit better, and it has a cool design right here. I like that. Cool. Now I got to do this next quarter. I guess I'll work on here. So now I've got this all attached to here. I don't think I need any pins. That's great. Oh my gosh. Okay, now to go sew. And halfway through, this is one half of it. I love how this is looking. That cover stitch is great. Here, and I put the white all around here. This looks wonderful, and I gotta say, I never use this stuff, but this stitch witchery has been a lifesaver. It really made this whole process easier. It's going through there really well. It's going, it's staying good underneath here. Wow, this is much easier than I was expecting. I don't have to pin it. I'm actually just going to stitch witchery it down and then sew it. And yeah. Okay, do I have the energy to do the other half? Yeah, I think I'll see what I can do. Oh my gosh. It'd be fun to get this whole thing done and then come in tomorrow and start putting the skirt together, because now I still got to put the whole skirt together. All right, and to get the next half, I need to lay this down back on where it was. Get all this here. Might be good to just do that whole half by itself, then I don't have to lay this down so much. Put this all here. All right, got the last part done. This last half, now I just have to connect these and stitch them together. That webbing was a game changer, okay, especially for knits. All right, while I have this down here so I don't have to pick it back up, I just marked the circle underneath here, all that pattern under there, and I'm going to cut the circle out, or at least mark it, and then when I get this all sewn, then I'll cut that circle out. So So I have these all anchored down with the webbing, and now I'm going to go and sew those last pieces, and then the skirt's ready to go. Alright, have this done. Got my circle cut. Looks like I'm going to have to patch that. I have a little visible marker there. Now I have to cut the marks. I'm going to go on the higher mark here. It's going to be where the yoke goes in. And then I'll stay stitch this right here so it doesn't stretch out of shape. And then I'm on my way to making the skirt. Now I just made the fabric, now I have to make the skirt. Wow. That took about, I think, 3 hours. That's not bad. All right, there's that. This is so cute. Oh my gosh. All right, got the hard part done. This looks great. I love it. This is gonna make a great skirt. Oh my gosh. People are gonna go, what is that? Get lucky. I love the sarcasm. Where's the front of it? Let me see, I had it, I think SpongeBob was close by. I have it on the, yeah, this was my front. I don't know, I can actually put it anywhere I want. I could actually, well, not anywhere. I gotta do the side seams because you want the peaks to go down on the sides. That would be strange, but yeah, I'm gonna stay stitch this so it doesn't stretch out. And then I'm gonna come in tomorrow and make the yoke, attach it, and I gotta put the binding in between there, and then I'll figure out what to do with that selvage on the hem of that. This looks so cool. And today I've only got about 45 minutes before class, but I can get the yoke cut out of the black denim, get it prepared, and probably just sew the side seams, pretty simple. And then I want to cut the selvages off of the 2 black pieces of denim I have here and get that prepared to put it around the hem of the skirt. And then I have to figure out what to put in between the yoke and the skirt. I'm thinking a piece of this black, like a torn piece with a little fray on the end and just like that, because I don't know what else to put in there. I haven't really dug through all my stash, but I'm thinking that kind of works the best. All right, onto the yoke. And I think I need to cut off the selvages first, and I want the hem of the skirt to just hit this selvage part right there. So then this is going to be, I'll just do like a 5/8 inch hem. So I did 5/8 there. So I marked all along the selvages 1 1/4 inches up. And I have to cut that first. I'm going to use pinking shears to cut that all right here because I've got to fit the yoke. Yeah, I'll have to, oh boy, this frays like crazy. I'll have to overlock all that anyway, so it doesn't really even matter to pink it. Some fabrics, they fray even with pinking shears. So once I get those cut off right here, then I'll have enough fabric to cut the yoke out. So I just got to get these off. Cut the yoke out on both sides here, and that will be ready to go. Yep, that's easy. Now I have to just cut all of these selvages off, and I'm going to be placing it on the hem. I'm just going to go ahead and pink it. All right, get all, I think I have 4 good ones. Do I have this all marked? All right, have all the selvages cut off right there. Hopefully that's enough. And now I have this torn edge here. This is the cross grain. I tore it here so it's nice and even. And then I've got this little frayed edge here. So what I want it to do is to hang out about from the seam allowance, maybe 5/8. If it's too long, it kind of pokes up. And if it's too short, it doesn't look good either. So if I do 5/8, like the seam is right here, then if I add another 5/8, if I do a 5/8 inch seam allowance, I'm looking at 1 1/4. This is at 1 3/8, the edge of that fray. So I'm just going to cut a strip about 1 3/8. My chalk is kind of fat too, so I can get these accurate. If you don't know how to use or fully use a clear ruler, called the invisible rulers, I don't know why they're invisible. I have a video on how to use it, how to line them up with all these, and just little clever ways of using this tool. We love this tool. I've been using this since my fashion design days. I use these a lot for adjusting patterns because they have little 1/16 of an inch, little 1/8 of an inch. That. Okay, so I'll cut, I know my high hip is around 41, 42. I need probably close to that number, plus the seam allowance for the little tuck. I don't really even do a seam allowance, I just put it all the way around. So I'll be cutting that. Let's see how long this is. This ruler is 18 and 36. Yeah, just gonna go the whole way. Oh my gosh, that seems so big. There's a 3/8 on the. You know, what am I thinking? I could just tear this. I marked it all. I could literally just tear this because it's down the cross grain. This feels weird. Once the selvages are cut off, I don't quite know what to do. So I'm going to go a little bit past here. I'm going to tear it. Spending all that time. And then I have 2 even sides. There we go. Just a tear of tearing the strip here. This is the trim to go between the yoke and the skirt. So get a nice fuzzy edge right here. All right, I have my yoke, my trim here, and my hem edge ready to go. I just need to sew a 5/8 seam allowance on both sides. And I can get this skirt ready to put together. Fabric frays all over me. It's like, oh my gosh. All right, I went ahead and sewed the side seams together. So I have a yoke now. This fabric's pretty stretchy. Probably gonna have to stay stitch it somewhere. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna line it or anything. Yeah, just use the stretch. It might be too big. Sometimes the hip part gets too big when I have the stretchy fabric. But I think I'm definitely going to have to overlock all of this to get my overlock machine out, or I'm going to use my machine just to get that part. But I have a feeling I'm going to really have a problem everywhere, so I think I have to get my overlock machine out. I hate doing that. Now I think I have white thread on it, so now I have to put the black thread on it. All right, well, got to get ready for my class, so I'll have to put this away. I think I can finish my skirt today. I don't have any classes, so I can work as long as I want. But I have 4 of my selvage strips all ready to go, although they're not ready to go because I need to overlock all these edges. They are fraying like crazy. So I'm going to overlock those, and then I got to figure out, it's easy to get on there. I'm just going to like turn them right sides together, and I want this to be right on the edge, but I got to figure out how I'm going to join them at the corners. I'll worry about that in a few minutes. All right. Have the strips overlocked. I used a gray thread on this side because I think that's the side that's going to show. And got them all overlocked. My overlock is not working well, but I have to get a new one. So I think what my goal is I wanted this to go over like that. So that means I have to turn this up and turn these right sides together. So then I'll be stitching right about here on this edge, and then this will get in like that, and then I'll top stitch all the way, and I'll use that cover stitch again. I could probably go a little bit further out though, because I kind of want this a little on the longer side. Let's cover it right there. So I'll go kind of like a hair past right there on that white. Yeah, and then it'll get right there. And that selvage looks so cool like that. I love this. Who would have thought? And I have all this selvage available. So now, how to figure out I have to get this right here. I have to figure out how to get these ends to work. So if these were to be stitched right here, like that, so then I would try this one here. And what do I do? Like this. So does this go, like if that got sewn here, I could go like this, and sew this right here, and I'd have an edge like that. Not bad. Just have to get that to be a nice frayed edge. So I can't really get the white though, because it's going that way. So yeah, I think that's how that's will have to go. I'll just have to sew, this is the side, so I'll do 2 sides, get the trim on it, then come in and do the fronts and the back. I think that's how that will go, and then this will be a raw edge right on the bottom. Well, that's looking great. I have my first one on, and I pressed it over. Got that thick edge here. This looks really cool. I love that. I'm gonna also have to do the little cover stitch all along there. And yeah, so I have the cover stitch here on the red, so that's the red one. I think on the black, I might do the cover stitch in black here so that this stands out better right here, because then if I had a olive one on there, it would kind of be a lot of different color threads. Have all 4 corners ready to cut. So I'm gonna kind of go here. I guess I just have to go that and then fray the edges, because I don't want that to be too frayed. That's right, because this has to go in. I think what I'm going to do here is tuck this under a tad, and then I'll be going around it with the cover stitch and just pivoting right here. And probably see if I can get that tucked under like a little V like that. That could look good. Keep it from fraying. Yeah, that'll work. Just gotta pin it. And I can also I can hand tack them all down there too. Okay, it looks good. And my next corners. Now, do I want to cover stitch this now, or do I want to put the rest of the skirt together? It's easier to work on this hem when the whole thing's not put together. All right. I think I'll just go ahead and finish the hem up. Oh no, if I have that color again. Ran out of thread on the red. And I had to, you can see the joint right here. This thread actually was considerably different than the other thread, and it looks the same here. This one was kind of a dull mint, and this one was like a light olive. Just blended right into that red, so it looks the same. That's so cool. I was like, oh my gosh, why did I run out of thread on the red? Why not on the olive so it would blend right in? But this is looking good. I think this one's gonna be my front. The old guy rule here, and then the 49ers, that's gonna be my fronts. My favorite t-shirt, Sarcasm. Just one of the many services I provide is gonna be on the side. And yeah, so now I gotta put the yoke on, put the trim on the yoke and the elastic, and then it's gonna be one of my favorite skirts. Looks comfy and fun. Can't wait to finish this up. So now onto the yoke. I decided to use the white side on here because I pinned this on. I put it on there like that. That looks really great with this whole print right here. Kind of stands out a little bit. Otherwise it looks like part of the yoke. And the frame right there shows that it's part of this. So I thought that would look the best. So that's how I'm going to do that. What I'm going to do on here is mark the 5/8 on the back side of this, especially since I can see it really well. And then I'm just going to go around this and baste this whole strip on right on the line. Then I can sew this part. I'll have a guide of where to sew it because I'll see the black stitch really well. Have it all basted. Got it right on my marks there. I think I've got it pretty even. When I go to stitch it, I'm going to stitch it a hair past because I really do want this not to be so long or so wide, I guess you could say. So that's how the yoke looks right now. Now I got to attach the skirt. So to get these attached, I need to find, I know where the side seams are. I need to find the center front. So I'm going to put a pin there. And the center back, actually I don't know which one is what. But I do want to look because, actually the center back is actually where I always put the end right here so that this, when that goes here, I have a little flap over like that. That goes right on my left back hip, like that. So this is the back. Now I have to find the back of the skirt. I remember I put little marks, the quarters. I got, I just have to remember which one is center front. I think this was the center front. I had the blue in the middle. Yeah, because I wanted the 49ers in front. So this is my back, so I'll get the front. And then I need to attach this. How am I going to do that? I always have to think about it. Okay, so like this. And then I pin it and check, double check. Sometimes it's off. And then I'm actually going to be sewing on this side so I can see that exact line. And sometimes I'll mark my center fronts with 2 pins so that I don't shift them and move them around. If I have to adjust this. And here's my other half mark, and that's where the side seam is, right here. So I'll put a pin there. I'll just get my quarters first. Hopefully this is all going here. It's hard to tell with all these patches of where's what is what. There's another quarter right there. And now to find the center back, that, and then center back is right here. Okay, and I'll put a double pin on that also. There. So now if I sew this all this way, this will come out here, and that will flap over like that. So now I just have to get these all balanced in here. I need to pin them from this part. Make sure all these raw edges are even. I think I'll pin it this way. Make sure all of that is as even as I can get them. And I stay stitch that too so that this wouldn't stretch out anymore. Get that right up to that raw edge. Just put lots of pins so it doesn't slip, because these can really slip while you're sewing and you don't know it. Okay. Pins really help in sewing. It keeps it in place. Some people use clips. I don't like them. I step on them all the time. They take extra time to move. I think I'm just so used to pins. It's kind of whatever you get used to, but you just got to do a lot of practicing with pinning, and then you get good at it, and then it's not a problem. All right, I'll pin the rest of all of this, and then I'll go around and sew it all together. All right, now to press this yoke down, I gotta get the seam up right here, give it a press. Then I have to try it on, and then I'll be top stitching all across this hip yoke. I'll probably do another cover stitch in black right here. That'll look good. That'll keep that. It'll look good, and then it will keep the seam down right here. Just go around it. All right, so there is how my skirt is looking. I'm going to try it on before I top stitch all this, make sure, because if it's too big, I have to take it in. If it's too small, I don't know what to do. I give it away. No, this is my dad's t-shirts. I can't do that. All right, I'm going to go try this on. All right, this fits really good right here, so I can go ahead and do this cover stitch right alongside here. That will probably actually help it from not stretching too much. But the front dipped a little bit. I forgot. I hadn't made the skirt for a little while, that I always drop the front about usually ½ an inch to an inch. It was a little bit big up here, so I think I'm gonna take in the sides just a little bit, because I don't want the elastic to be really elasticy. I want it to just kind of lay on my waist. And then I'm going to drop this down an inch. So how I do that is I get this on the side seams. Then I'll anchor these out here. I'm going to mark it before I take it in. I'm just going to, once I cut this right here, I have to cut the overlock off now. And then I'm going to cut it off about ½ an inch the whole way. It just seemed like it fit my hips a little bit better. I've been doing that lately to these skirts, cutting off or making this yoke a little bit shorter, because our bodies change over time, and this pattern is about 2 years old. So I'm going to go an inch down, but then another ½. So I'm going to go 1.5 inches right there, and then this is at about ½ an inch. So I've got ½ an inch here, and then I'll just blend this to that point, and I'll mark it on the other side this way, and I'll just get some marks, transfer them over like that, and that's a ½ an inch. And I will, actually I'm just going to be cutting this on, I'm just going to cut it, so I didn't even have to mark it. I was thinking I was going to mark a ½ an inch. All right, I think I'm going to pink it so I don't need to overlock it again, because I put my overlocker away. I didn't take the black thread off of it though. Okay, this looks all wobbly too. So I'm just going to pink this. I might have to pink this single layer. This fabric just really falls apart once you cut it. I don't know how long this denim will last actually. If I wash it a lot, it feels like it will just kind of stretch all out of shape. It's not the best quality. It's very comfortable, but it's not. Ooh, that's actually a little off, but that's fine. ½ an inch off. Right there. And then I'm going to take in this part here, probably ½ an inch on each side. So I'm just going to stitch it here, and then blend it straight down, like straight here into about here, like that. And I'll do that on both sides. Then that waist won't have so much elastic scrunchies up there. Right, I'll stitch that, open up the seam and press it, and then I'll get the elastic. So now to tackle the elastic, I use Dritz's 1 inch fold over elastic. It's a good strong one, and folds over really easy, and it's like fuzzy on that side. So I have it sewn at the center back. That's gonna be my center back. And then I marked it on the quarters right here. This is actually center front. And then this is my center front. Make sure, yes. So I'll be putting this in quarters. And then when I go to the sewing machine and I stretch it, and see, I'm actually gonna be sewing it with the fabric out to the left this way. So I'll put the pins in like this way. I have to make sure it's not twisted. It looks a little twisty. I'm going to put this on the side seam. I put a chalk mark on this side seam because the black, I can't really see it very well. It's right there. And then what I do is I pull the elastic while I'm sewing it, and this gets sandwiched in right here, and then I just do a quick zigzag stitch, and this just gets put in there, and then it will, looks like it's still going to have a lot of pull on it, because I made this elastic a little tight because the skirt is a little heavy, and it's not, and it's just really comfortable in the yokes, which means it could fall down. So, so that would not be good. So now I got this in quarters, and now I need to take this to the sewing machine, do a zigzag stitch all the way through. I have a whole video on how to do this process step by step if you need it ever. It's called How to Use Fold Over Elastic. I'll put a card up in the video frame so that you can find it. All right, to the sewing machine. Have my finishing touches on. All done. The skirt is done. I only waited 10 years to finish this. These were chopped up in a bag for 10 years in my closet. And I finally could take this off my to-do list. This is terrible. But I love this skirt. I could have been wearing this for the past 10 years. Oh my gosh. Wow, this looks so great. I love this. So look and see if you have any loved ones' old t-shirts, or one of my students even said she had the, she went to all the concerts and bought the t-shirts, so cut those up. Or I have crew t-shirts from all the movies that I've worked on, and then I'm gonna cut those up because I don't wear t-shirts. I might as well turn them into a skirt. I also have a t-shirt I just got from my high school reunion. I won it, and then my friend, my best friend in high school, we were there together at the reunion, and I won it, and she got one too, but then lost hers, and then I felt bad because I have mine. So I think I'm gonna turn that one, I'm gonna team it up, it's red and black. I'm gonna team that up with black squares and then send it to her for a surprise. I thought that would be kind of cool. So turn it into a skirt. So you have to make one too. These are so much fun. I'll let you know how wearing this is, and stay tuned for the end of this video because I'm gonna take a photo of this and show you how it looks. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment below if you're gonna plan on doing one of these, and what's on your to-do list. Anything on there for 10 years? Oh my gosh. All right, well, I'll see you in the next video.